Now let's get to the topic that brought me here today, and this was a press release that was sent out by your office on August the 15th, and the headline is a catchy one: Canton will not do business with tax delinquents. Explain yourself, City Treasurer Kim Perez.
Well, it was actually a fluke. Someone brought me a list of some top delinquents, and I happened to look at that list, and I says, wow, they're doing demolition work with us currently. How can they be doing demolition work with the city of Canton and be delinquent in taxes? So then the more we dug into it and the more we saw, we said, this is not just unique to one person. This is actually a problem. So what we did is sat down with the law department, purchasing department, and we went through, 6 weeks. It took us about 6 weeks to really iron out what we were going to do and how we were going to deal with it. This ordinance basically just deals with the contractual part of it, the people that contract for $15,000 more or $20,000 more worth of services, that they cannot get a contract with the city of Canton unless we sign off on it that they're either current with us or they have an agreement with us to pay off their debt, or they're filed and they're in good standings with us. And the reason we're doing that is because everybody wants to raise revenue, and we're taxing the people that don't work in the city anymore. We're taking away their credits, and it's my office is catching the head. We're the ones that have to send out the letter saying, that 2% last year doesn't apply this year. It's 1.7 credit. You still owe us 0.3%. We go up to Akron. They working in Akron. They're paying 2.25. Now they're paying 2.55 in city taxes between Akron and Canton. And they're still invested in the city of Canton. They spend their money here. If their kids go to school here, the schools get the money for the kids from the state. I mean, they've invested. Some people just can't help. They can't find a job here. They had to go to Akron.
Yeah. Let me interrupt you here, if I may. I think you've kind of gotten off onto a little bit of another issue. Can you give viewers a little bit of background? You went to council, I believe, and made a recommendation that a change take place on the amount of money that was it non-residents?
Well, it's actually residents that live in the city but work in a different city. They used to get a full 2% credit.
Okay.
Well, if you work in the city of Akron or in Maslin or which other ones, Mike?
Green, Louisville, Alliance.
Okay.
Then you're being punished.
That we just heard there from was Mike McEnany, and you are Chief Deputy? Okay, let me just get a picture shot of you here, and so you'll be piping in from time to time as we go through this, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And by the way, Mike has over 27 years experience in the city income tax department, and when I came in, I promoted him to Chief Deputy. I've known Mike. He actually ran a campaign against me when I lost when I ran for council.
I see.
He actually worked with Sam Slyman, so that shows you I'm not that type of politician where I hate you forever. We had a good race. I lost. I won on election day, but I lost in absentee ballots.
Well, just we'll point out, Stark County Political Report has written a number of critical blogs about Kim Perez, but here we sit in Kim Perez's office. So,
it is what it is. I'm not gonna, that old saying, you don't argue people by their ink by the barrel.
Right.
In your case, it's a film. But no, just to get back to that, I think what we did was we got the complaints. We were getting the complaints, and I started really looking at it. I said, wow, this just doesn't seem right. So to me, it was more of a philosophy difference, and that's why I'm getting so aggressive on going after the taxes owed to the city, because I think we need to do every effort possible. We also have an ordinance to be able to hire a law firm that specializes in collections out of Cleveland. they have gotten their first batch to go after that we can't find, or they've been delinquent for years, or they just avoided the court system, or they avoided coming in to see us.
So you're looking for results,
So
right?
we're looking for results, and we're turning all the stones in order to try to collect the money that's owed, because why should anybody else have to pay more when we still haven't turned all the stones to get what we are owed?
But the council did change the law in Canton to go to 2% full credit.
No, council approved it and the mayor vetoed it.
Veto, that's right.
So right now it's vetoed. That means we'd have to get one more council person to switch their vote in order for us to override the veto.
And this could become a campaign issue in 2015.
You know, I'm thinking that no matter what, it's a campaign issue, no matter who's running, because once again, I'm the one who's getting the complaints from the people that's paying it. And we had a lady down at council just last Monday night that called here and was blaming us, and we explained what happened, and then she went down to council and she spoke on Monday night. So we're letting people know that if you're against this, or if you think this is an unfair burden to you, then you need to go to council and you need to speak down at council so they understand what type of what this is doing to your family.
So this particular project that you have going with Canton not doing business with tax delinquents, how much could that net Canton? Do you have any rough estimate on what that might mean? What is owing that this is leverage to collect on, right?
Well, I think just one individual, and I can't say names or anything because of
Privacy.
privacy law,
Right.
but one individual, we got one company we got over 30,000 from. So it's substantial. It's
Certainly worth the effort.
It's definitely worth the effort. Especially we had 2 interns in here to go through 5,000 names to be able to send the ones up to Cleveland and be able to garnish the ones that we can do garnish here. We're working with the law department hand in hand. Joe Martuccio, Rachel Oman that works for the law department, she actually is in our office 2.5 days. The law department's 100% behind working with this. I think we're really starting to get a message out there. You know what? If you're in a tax problem, you need to come talk to us. You know, by law, individually, I can waive interest and penalties. I can't waive your tax, but I can waive interest and penalties up to $15,000. Anything over $15,000 would have to go to the tax appeals board. But we're looking at your hardship cases. I was laid off in 1980. I went through 20 and a half months of layoffs. I understand what that's about when you have little kids and you're laid off and you're just barely surviving to keep your house and stuff. I get it. But you need to come in. You need to come see us. Same with the contractors. If you got problems out there, we don't want to run you out of business, but if you want to do business with us, you need to get squared up. You need to get on payment plan. You need to make your payments. You need to do what you need to do. Any new contractors, they need to come in before they get a contract and sign up with us so we know that they're actually doing contractual work for the city of Canton and they owe us money. We're making them give us their whoever their subs are. So if I'm a demo person and I'm subbing out all the demolition work, I'm just the paper guy, I know that I need to go after this subcontractor in order to get my taxes for those guys that are working in the city of Canton doing that demo work. We're talking millions of dollars we're spending lately in demolitions, and that's a substantial amount of money to the city of Canton. So I think we need to do that. When the new system's up, we're actually going to go to the PO level. When we cut a PO for services, we can't do it now, but when the new system, we're actually going to be in the workflow. The treasurer's office will be part of the workflow. When the department head signs off, it'll flow over to the treasurer's office. We will check to make sure they're current. If they're not current, we don't do business with them. So if you want to be a businessman doing business, getting City of Canton money, then you need to be current, and I think it's only fair to the rest of the taxpayers in the City of Canton to make sure we enforce those rules.
What do you think the time frame is for it becoming very clear to people, companies that do business in the City of Canton, that don't even go there and ask unless you're up on your taxes. How long do you think it's going to take to really take hold?
I think it's going to take us another year from now to really have a good idea of what it was and who it is and how we get it. We get this one going, then the first year when the new finance system's up and we get in that rotation, we go to the PO level. I think we'll be surprised that even at that lower level, the contracts under $15,000 or $20,000 for services, I think we'll be surprised in what we find there too. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people just aren't registered. They don't even know they have to register. So we want to do education. We want to go talk to the JCs. We want to talk to the businessmen. We want to talk to the chambers. We want to talk to the business and then educate them. Say, hey, you know what? When you do work in the city of Canton, this is your liability. This is what you got to do. So when you bid your work, come see us or you won't get the bid.